Hello, K Sports Boxing fans. It's your boy Kofi Jr. Today we're here again on the Monday Boxing Madness, where we bring you nothing but the boxing updates. We'll take you through the boxing highlights, the things that happened over the weekend. We'll also let you know the things that are going to happen over the weekend in terms of the fight schedule. And this is all this show is all about. I do this every Monday, and it's called the Monday Boxing Madness. We stream live on K Sports Boxing, and we use our other channels like K Sports Boxing. We also use our K Box TV as well as Ace TV as well. So you can find us on all these channels and make sure you log on onto YouTube and subscribe to our channel, the K Sports Boxing. Go on to Twitter. We are also large on Instagram and on Threads and TikTok as well. It's the same name, K Sports Boxing. Follow us on all the channels. So anytime you come on here, you'll be notified about this sport, the Monday Boxing Madness, and you can also tune in and get all your updates in the world of boxing. I'm doing this one exclusively myself. Usually, sometimes I do this with my co-host or my friend Amwako, but today I'm going to do this alone, and it's going to be here um, on Friday, where he will do his show, the African Boxing on Max, where he also talks about things that African promoters need to be aware of to lift up African boxing and the sport of boxing in Africa. Pardon me for today. I have a little bit cold, so that's I'm sure you'll be hearing that a little bit. But yeah, it's just the cold that I have. But it's not going to affect the sports at all because today I have like amazing stuff. I have like highlights from the Joshua versus Dubai fight. I can't wait to talk to you about it. And in the fight schedule, the fight schedule, like I have a very exciting fight. Also, I want you to talk to you about. So don't go anywhere. Stay with me. I'm going to take my first breather, and when I come back, the first thing we'll talk about will be the big fight that happened over the weekend: Joshua versus Dubois. Stay with me. So after a very long wait, last week or just the past Saturday, we got to see the fight, or we saw the fight between Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. I mean, it was a very good fight, a very entertaining fight, right from round one to round five. Yes, you heard me right. If you didn't watch the fight, it ended in round five. It was an exciting fight. Joshua went down in round one. He went down again in round four, and before the fight got eventually stopped in round five. What a fight! What a fight! If you haven't seen it, I would just say go to YouTube and just search it on Matchroom or Queensberry. You will definitely see this fight, and I think he's been it will be one of the fights that you'll be excited to see because it was like action packed right from round one to round five. When the fight ended, I mean, it was spectacular. It was fantastic. I mean, it was that kind of upset that we know could expect or we know could happen in heavyweight boxing, where we all say like one punch really changes the game, and usually it's in the heavyweight division. So I'm going to walk you through what happened real quick. But I mean, what a fight this was. So Anthony Joshua was in action against Daniel Dubois over the weekend, like I was saying, and it was a very huge like build up to the fight night. Of course, Anthony Joshua at one point during the press conference, or during the build up to the fight, even before disrespected by Daniel Dubois for saying that they should just let's go, But it's a common phrase where boxers use a lot, especially when you're going to fight. You hear them say a lot of like let's go, let's go. But at that particular point or in time, I felt like Anthony Joshua felt like Daniel Dubois wasn't on his level, so he needed to tone it down. But yeah, sometimes when you're pumped and you're excited to go, it's just about letting go. And that's what we saw on Saturday night at Wembley, a sold out arena. Over 98,000 people went to see this particular fight. So it should tell you how big this fight was in Britain and world boxing in general. And it was exciting. Right from round one, Daniel Dubois established that he was in there not to play, but really to win. And bear in mind, he was going to this fight as a defending IBF champion. So he left no stone unturned. Unturned. He really went there, gave up everything that he had to be able to secure his title back home, and that's exactly what he did. In round one, Joshua was trying to test the waters, but Dubai wasn't up for it. He was really going in for the kill, and then round one, he secured like a round one knockdown towards the end of the round. And when we came back in round two, and still the drawing generalship was there. Of course, Anthony Joshua being the former unified heavyweight champion, also like really give a very good account of himself using the ring and his footworks, as we all know him to use well. And we also went in favor of him like in a couple of rounds. But yeah, Daniel Dubois was just untouchable. I feel like it was his night. The odds were in his favor. The age, 27 years old, was fighting against Anthony Joshua, who's like 34 now. So we really saw also the youthfulness come into play in this particular fight. And at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like many boxing fans when I watch the fight also like attest to the fact that the better man on the night won. I mean, if you watch our pre-fight analysis where I was here with my co-host, the boxing doc, and of course Kojo, who was one of our very good friends who's based in the US. I mean, I made it emphatically clear that I feel like it was going to be another Dubois night, and I wasn't shocked or surprised at all. And that's just how it ended. So at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, I mean, lost to a young and much more hungrier, fighter in the name of Daniel Dubois. And yes, I think after the fight, Daniel Dubois also made it very clear that he will be looking for the rematch versus Alexander Usyk. But we'll see how things play out. But first, fight highlights. That's how it went. And Daniel Dubois was able to secure the victory on the night to become the defending IBF heavyweight champion. So, and still, the IBF heavyweight champion of the world is Daniel Dubois. Now, sorry, moving away from there, I would also like to talk to you about a couple of fights that happened on the card. Uh, Ghanaian and Joshua Boachi was on the card as well. He also went to the distance, but before that, he secured about 3 or 4 knockdowns before he was able to, get a victory. And I felt like at a particular point, I even felt scared for him because it was a split decision. Of course, I don't understand that he was deducted a point at one point, but like, yeah, I felt like it was a straight unanimous decision. But I mean, a win is a win, and so it's very good that he was still able to secure like a win at the end of 12 rounds of boxing. So congratulations to Boache for also getting that win. Josh Kelly was also like in action, but I think after the lose against Ishmael Davis, he removed his gloves and he put it, in the ring, signifying that he might be retiring soon. And so I think I will not be very surprised, or boxing fans will not be surprised if we get anything from his camp or he puts up a statement to say that he's retired from boxing. But what a career that Josh Kelly has had! A very fantastic career that he's had. And, over the weekend, he also gave us a piece of him, and the Kelly that we know like really put up a very good performance. So, in as much as he lost the fight, I mean, kudos and a lot of respect to him for stepping into the ring to entertain us for all these years that he's been in boxing. IBF super featherweight champion and the Karake dream of the 2024 continued as he claimed a unanimous decision victory against Josh Warrington. Also a very beautiful fight too as well. And Jamie Mungai delivers a KO victory against Eric Bazikian, in the super middleweight clash, or the super middleweight non-title fight. So those are the things that happened over the weekend. I'm going to take a breather, and when I come back, I'm going to use this last 5 minutes to jump through, the fight news, and of course, I also talk to you about the fight schedule coming over the weekend. This is my last breather. When we come back, we're going to do the last round of the show. Stick and stay. Don't go too far. I mean, clearly after a huge fight like this, a lot of statements will be put out, and it's just natural for the magnitude of the fight that happened over the weekend between Anthony Joshua and Dubois. And so, of course, some of the news that came up first will be the fact that 98,128 people were in attendance to witness history at Wembley between the. I mean, I'm talking about the fight between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. I mean, what's a number, and it's a record in British boxing. Between all these guys have it's a record that these guys have set, you know, uh, in British boxing. So congratulations to the two fighters, Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. And I mean, the fight that they also gave the boxing fans like was no different, lived up to the expectation, and it was fantastic to see the fans. I mean, cheering and encouraging these warriors on the fight. So yeah, that was it for you. 98,128 people were in action as well. So what is coming up after all the things after the fight? Some of the things that Anthony Joshua said. I mean, when he was asked about how he felt about the fight, he said, "Yeah, we took a shot at success, and we got caught. And of course, I want to continue fighting. And you're going to leave to fight another day. I'm a warrior." Of course, I mean, many people were uh, thinking that after this fight, like Anthony Joshua should retire or he should hang his gloves or something. But I think this statement that he made after the fight is something that is reassuring boxing fans that he's going to continue fighting. As to whether people are excited about it or not, I think it comes down to the fighter for him to make a decision if his body feels okay, to continue or not. But as it stands, Anthony Joshua is still going to continue fighting, and he said that right after the fight. And the end says that he would want to be making a fight against his fighter Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, and that is assuming Tyson Fury loses. And don't forget that Tyson Fury will be in action in December in a rematch versus the unified or the former undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk. Also on the Riyadh season card coming up in December. So this is the fight that at the end is hoping or thinking that assuming Tyson Fury loses again or the second time to Alexander Usyk, it feels like the fight that will make like the utmost sense for or will bring his fighter back into contention for any title at all. Will be the fight between Anthony Joshua. So that's how Eddie Hearn is playing it, or how he would want to, or who he would want his opponent to fight, assuming he loses, assuming Tyson Fury loses. So he wants to make that Anthony Joshua versus Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury next. Um, Another thing making news is the fact that Teofimo Lopez has called out Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis. He says he want to fight the best, and it feels like these are the two guys that are on top of the food chain now, and so he would want a shot at them, and um, and so hopefully he would want to see this fight happen. As to whether it's going to happen or not, I think time will tell. We're just going to stick and stay, and then we're going to watch how things play out. But Sports Boxing, anything that comes up, we will be here to update you, to let you know how things will go. Jesse Bam Rodriguez will defend his WBC Super Flyweight title versus the WBC interim belt holder Pedro Guevara next on 9th November in Philadelphia, USA. Another thing also making the news, is the statement that Anthony Joshua made after crediting Daniel Dubois for the performance that he put up, and of course his team for setting him up or for preparing him up to be able to give the performance that he gave up. And one statement that he said that was really nice to hear was that he rolled the dice of success, and then he came up short. Uh, so he was not going to run away. He's going to stick and stay around, and hopefully he's going to get another shot at greatness. When Tyson Fury was asked how the fight happened, how he saw the fight, he said it was a fantastic job. Fair play to the young Dan. Everybody wrote him off, and of course, even my co-host on the show wrote him off. He felt like he wasn't ready yet. So yeah, the boxing dog felt like he wasn't ready yet. So it wasn't just Tyson Fury. A lot of boxing fans thought like young Dan wasn't ready. So he was coming into the ring as a defending champion, and then he was able to defend his title beautifully. And now the last word that I'm going to give to you or the last news item I'm going to share with you that Daniel Dubois has declared that he wants to fight Alexander Usyk next. Because he felt like there are a couple of wrongs in that fight that he would like to rewrite, and so hopefully he will get his rematch against Alexander Usyk someday. Someday. So yeah, those are the things making the news around the world now. In the world of boxing at the moment. Um, and these are the things that I've been able to summarize like in just 15 minutes for you to have a feel of what's happening in the world of boxing. Fight schedule. Um, September 27th at the Madison Square Gardens, we'll witness Sandy Ryan versus Michaela Myers. They'll be fighting in a welterweight 10 rounds for Ryan's WBO title. Also, Zena Zayas will also be in action versus Damian Sosa. And Bruce Carrington will be facing Suleiman Sagawa in a 10 rounds featherweight fight. Taisi Kalaka will also face Tori Ellis Willis in a bantamweight title in a 10 rounds for Kalaga's British and Commonwealth title. And the last one will be Rehonard Dixon versus Terry Hamper. They will be fighting for Dixon's WBO title. Those are the fights that are coming up over this weekend. So make sure you tune on to DAZN or tune to your favorite TNT or Sky Sports to catch these actions. For us, we'll be back here on Monday to be able to let you know how these fights play out. But yes, last week was the moment where the world saw the defending IBF World Champion face a solid and a fantastic built fighter in the name of Anthony Joshua and came up victorious. So credit to the new champion, or credit to the defending champion who was still able to defend his title, Daniel Dubois, and hopefully we'll see him in like more fights, and we'll see how we'll be able to come up going forward. Thank you very much for sticking and staying with me. A lot of credit to my producer, Larry Lawson, for putting this show together, and also to my team, the Boxing Duck, and the other crew at KASPORTS Boxing. I really appreciate you guys for all the work that you've been doing. Guys, if you've not been following us, just up onto our Facebook. We have like about 8.5 million followers now. No, 8.5K followers on Facebook now, and our other socials are also growing like beautifully. Join our success story, be part of us, so that anytime we come up here, we'll be able to, we'll be able to get all the updates in the world of boxing. Really appreciate you. We post everything that's happening in the world of boxing on our channel, so make sure you follow us too on there. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads, and on Twitter, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be doing that a lot of good by subscribing to us and then following us. It would also motivate us as well. Again, huge congratulations to my credit to my producer, Larry Lawson, for putting this show together. I'll be back here again on Monday night to bring another edition of the Monday Boxing Madness, and hopefully it'll be better and sweet and more interesting than this. But until then, I leave you with the victory over the weekend from this man who was able to secure the win that everybody wrote him off and was still able to come up on top. Until then, guys, have a very good evening. I'll be back here again next week, Monday.